Part 1. The piano keyboard. When you look at any keyboard like the piano, the xylophone, the vibraphone, or organ, the notes are laid out with the natural notes down here and notes that we would call either a sharp or a flat up here. You'll notice that the sharps and flats are grouped in twos and then in threes. The note right before the set of two is C. So I know that C is right here. Here's another set of two. Here's also C. Now we can label the rest. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. There's our C, D, E. Now we could keep going higher, and we could also keep going backwards lower. Now with these keys up here, we would label them as either sharps or flats. So a sharp raises a pitch by what is called a semitone. A semitone is one step. So C raised a semitone becomes C sharp. A note lowered by a semitone is flat. D lowered by a semitone becomes D flat. You'll notice that both C sharp and D flat are the same note. So we call those notes enharmonic. Let's go through the other enharmonic notes. D raised by a semitone becomes D sharp. E lowered by a semitone becomes E flat. F raised by a semitone becomes F sharp. G lowered by a semitone becomes G flat. There's C sharp again. D flat. You'll notice that there aren't any keys up here between B and C and E and F. Very rarely would we ever see the note B sharp. Also, very rarely would we ever see the note C flat. If you did see a C flat, it would be this note right here. If you did see a B sharp, it would actually be a C. Likewise, with F flat, it would be E, and E sharp would be F. Part 2. The major scale. The scale is a collection of 8 notes. Our first example that we will go through is the C scale. The C scale starts on C. Remember, set of 2. One before is C. Here's our next C. And the C scale consists of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again. Were I to play it on a guitar, it would sound like this. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now you'll notice that there is a pattern with steps. Our first step from C to D is 1 semitone, 2 semitones. You'll remember from our first lesson for sharps and flats, there is no C sharp or D flat in the C scale. So what we call 2 steps is a tone. That is 1 tone, C to D. D to E, 1 semitone, 2 semitones. There's another tone. E to F, you'll notice there's no note in between. So it's 1 step. We will call this a semitone. 2 steps, 2 steps, 2 steps, 1 step, this is the pattern that we use to create a major scale. Using the pattern that we just saw of tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, we are going to take a look at the scale that starts on D and ends on D. The first interval we have here is going to be a tone. So it's not 1 step, it's 2 steps. 1, 2. So the next note in the D scale is E. We have to do another tone, which is 2 steps. 1, 2. So we have taken F here, and now it needs to be F sharp. The next step is a semitone, down to G, tone, 2 steps, 1, 2, to A, tone, tone, which is 2 steps, 1, 2, so it's not C, it is C sharp. Our final semitone to D. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now for practice, let's start on F. Here's my next F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. All right, so our pattern is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. F to G, 1, 2 steps, that is a tone. G to A, 1, 2. Semitone. A, we can't go all the way to B, that's 2 steps. So we need to bring B down to B flat. Our next is a tone, 1, 2, C, tone, C to D, tone, D to E, and then a semitone, E to F. There's no steps in between. Lastly, let's take the scale that we just wrote out, or plotted on our keyboard, and write it out in notes. Here's my treble clef, or you could use a bass clef if you want. Our first note in the scale is F, G, A, E, F. Remember, when we cross the B line, our stems go down. This is the easy part. When you write a scale, start on the name, end on the name, F and F, fill in the notes in between. But one thing we have not put in yet is an accidental, either a sharp or a flat. In the F scale, there's only one accidental, and that is B flat. Now when we write it in our music, the flat occurs before. F, G, A. B flat, C, D, E, F. F major scale. For practice, let's start on G this time. C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Tone, tone, semitone. Tone, 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 semitone. Well, let's use it here. Tone, tone. Semitone. Tone, tone, tone. Oh no, I need another step. So this must become F sharp semitone. When we write this out in our music, all right, we'll start on G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There we are. All right, so we have G from G to G, but I need to have that F sharp. G, A, B, C, D, E, F. And remember, when we write it in our music, it goes before the note.